movement alafu ni
haya demo men demo men wale sisi wote tunakaa sisi tunakaa alafu mimi tunamuka. Haya tuanze. I will make you fishers of men, fishers of men. Very serious. Men, tunamuka men. I
you fishers of men,
fishers of men,
fishers of men. I will make you fishers of men if you follow me.
tumeshika. Okay. I will make you
Fishers of men,
fishers of men,
fishers of men.
I will make you fishers of men if you follow me.
My colleagues all get present.
Morning, sir.
Yeah. I'm fine. I saw you coming. I was actually in town, but I realized that there's a group of students that did not take it. And we are remaining in 2 days, so I had to rush to college, make the decision, and get the group going. Otherwise, we are together. Thank you. Up to this level, and it's only good. Thank you.
Karibu sana. So, we are in our first session, and we are going to be taken through the psychology of the man by Erick Ojilong. Hapo mwana na daktari. Wewe sana na yeye haina hatua wapi? Utana hapa. Hata hapa. That's when my papa wapi? Masinde Mungu. We thank God. Today is here with us. Within a short just yesterday. We traveled from Nairobi. Dr. Ayu moved from Masinde Mungu to the African Leadership University that is in Rwanda. Tunashukuru Mungu kwa sababu yake. So we have the right person in the house. I only add people. Tukae chini, tufunzwe polepole, kutoka hapa senior.
Yes.
And we Dr. Ayu, you're most welcome. So please.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. That is the name that I still use. The other one is a typical village name, which gives people trouble to pronounce it. Shit Seswa. So it is written, but pronunciation, the real way is Shit Seswa. So people struggle with it. But those are just people who choose how you want to pronounce it. But still my name. So as it had, the last time I was with you, I was amused, but we always look for opportunities to grow. When you happen to get one, jump onto it immediately. So that's how I found myself at African Leadership University, guiding the campus. has campuses, several campuses in Africa. We even have one not affiliated with in any way because my employer is in Kigali, but because of Kigali, I tour Mauritius campus and Chad. That is a coordination of business in those countries. So I work in Rwanda 10 days a month, then the rest of the days I'm free, doing my own thing. So that's how life can be at times. And you're headed there, isn't it? That's how I started. From a very low point at some point, I remember I even taught in a primary school. Can you imagine that? Taught in a primary school for some time. I taught in a college, though for a very short period of time, just about 3 or 4 months. Then I ended up in the university. I moved. Now we are out there. And still, if another opportunity comes, we might say, no. And what a time to come talk to you about leadership. And basically, I'm trying to make so much difference into African leadership that you try to see and better. For example, when you talk of leadership, we are looking at somebody who initiates action from the subordinates. You are a person who, the word is doing it. Though some people will use it negatively. Initially, they take the action of forcing. I force you to do it. And it will, just as you know, the leadership styles are different. People take different approaches. So as you initiate others to take actions that will lead to attaining the organizational goals, you become a leader. And how do you end up at that position? You are here because you are elected and someone nominated. And how are you elected? Madam, I just mentioned that something. That you gave from this. And now this is the time we are going to get names. The names will either be Baba, and I mentioned Baba, whom am I referring to? Or the name may be Kasongo. I've not named anyone, but I'm just using a random name. Why? Because of how you are going to do it. So are you going to enter as a Baba to the students looking at you? Or are you going to end up as another one? I'm not mentioning that. It is up to you now to know how best are you going to attain that time. And look at it this way, that as a leader, you may not tell somebody, do what I'm telling you to do. There are situations where somebody simply observes what you're doing and feels this is the right thing to do. If I look at you how you're all dressed, we have something in mind that made you pull out what you're putting on today and say, this is what I'm going for. That special occasion. Nobody told you or chose for you. But if somebody chose for you, you're lucky. But in most cases, your wardrobe is made as a result of maybe what you saw somebody putting on and felt, this looks on me just as on that other person. The hairstyle you are doing is because you saw it someone you felt is the best that I can emulate from that person. And therefore that person becomes automatically a leader, though he doesn't or she doesn't know that she is or he is the one who is making you follow a certain way of doing things. Now we're looking at the psychology of the leader. This person whom you're going to lead. How does this person be with you? What is it that you realize that you can make a good leader? Looking at some research that was 5 years ago, which I still think makes sense up to today. In this research, the researcher, though it is in, it was done in US, the researcher looked at or had a population of 2,100 respondents. These respondents were, some were leaders in organizations, others were businessmen, others were even students. Now, as a person interested in management, and here is an leader. Look at the last one, management essentials. And I wonder, what do people want? Now, as a leader, they're not interested in you being a good manager. They're interested in you talking to them. That is what is number one. That are you able to lower yourself to a level where they are and feel free to talk to them? Not that you feel that now that you are the president, you are the chair, you are the secretary of finance, you are holding that position, you end up feeling so big that now even talking to them is a challenge. No, but the people you are leading may not be interested in that. So you may be struggling in a certain area that is not the focus of what these people want. So get to know, communicate with them, get to know what is it that they want, so that you end up having the right them as a result of your leadership. Again, look at the aspect of credibility. That just 22% or a quarter of the people you lead are concerned about how credible you are. Remember the other day, sorry I'm using a weird example, but we all know. The other day the president was in Seoul. Then he calls a small boy and asks him, "What is my name? Do you know me?" And the boy said, "You've not seen that clip?" You've seen it. What did he answer? Kasomo. Then he asks him, the small boy, "Who calls me that? Or where did you get that name from?" What did he answer? "Everyone calls you." Isn't that? And why does everyone call him that? They say because of likes. I don't know if it's true, but you can be able to judge by yourself. So, the aspect of credibility, that when the president is now shouting, "I'll make this roll from point A, B, C, D," if I'm answering back to him, "Wongo, wongo." Why? Credibility. But here we are saying that only 22.3% or a quarter of your population see that as a very critical aspect. So the research may sound a bit skewed, isn't it? Then you can look at now the critical parts that people are concerned with. Interpersonal skills. How do you handle yourself? How do you carry yourself from point A to B? What do other people feel about you? Are they the kind of people that we say, this one has a double life, or is a master of double speed? You are here, you tell us, "Bwana tusifanye hii, hakuna mahali tutapelekwa." When you move the second room, naambia guys, "Bwana hii msipofanya, ni nyumbani mnaenda." So are you credible? Are you the kind of person that people can trust and say that whatever you are telling us is the truth? And if we don't abide by it, then we are doomed. So credibility is also key. Then values and ethics. In African leadership situation, most of African leaders do not value credibility and values. That's why people will do crazy things and still continue being in office. But out there, it is so different. Even in Rwanda, just across here, the way people are expected to be ethical in their dealings is very high. At times, when I just come back to Kenya, or I'm in Nairobi, and you find yourself like you are in two different worlds. Because here you will be struggling with the traffic jam. Fine, the traffic jams are there, but everybody is disciplined. The traffic jam is not out of carelessness of an individual who is overlapping or something like that. It must be something that is common to everyone. But here, so different. We don't respect even traffic rules. At times you walk in Kigali, you walk even for 2 kilometers in the city before you see a dustbin. And it is the cleanest city in Africa. No dustbin you will see anywhere. You can take a whole 2 kilometers radius. It's not like how. It's all about being disciplined. And it starts from the leader, then it goes down to the other people who are down there. So, why did I bring in this research? I'm just trying to make you see that when it comes to leadership, it can be seen from different perspectives by different people. And we all have different interests. Let me link to what Madam just did a few minutes ago. After you left here, she told you to go and look through the windows, and you all looked out. You came back with an answer, either jokingly or what you meant to be the answer. But what does it portray? That is your interest. Whatever answer you gave, that is what is occupying your mind. So mtu wa aja. I hope chapati will be part of the lunch. Because now your focus is on lunch. There was somebody who saw a goal post. Was it the sports guy? Ama nani aliona goal post? You are the one. Are you related to sports?
No,
Are you a footballer?
I'm a coach.
You are a coach. And that is why in psychology we don't talk about slip of the tongue. There is nothing like slip of the tongue. Or somebody understands about it. So Ajam has been one of his for the day. Including I hope we'll not pick you there in the evening. Stay safe. So these are things that happen in our minds. And before somebody speaks, and if you find somebody saying that, I'm sorry, it was a slip of the tongue. No, there is nothing like slip of the tongue. It is something that has been in your mind, in your subconscious mind, and now you have had a chance to say it. Like somebody greets you and you are a man, and he tells you, like, treats you like a lady. And you are not Mrs. It has slip of the tongue. Uongo. Huyo jamaa kwenye anakaa anakuona kama mwanamke. So be careful. The next time you can conclude what I wanted to say. But that is because of psychology helps us to understand. And that takes us to these leadership theories. If we look at leadership theories that are there, these leadership theories are either democratic, delegative, autocratic, or participative. Like when we are looking at how leaders decide on which approach they are going to use, just those four theories. And I have a paper here that I want us just to use to discuss in minutes. It will help us get something done. Just try to share. If they are not enough, we can see how to use them. Then let's just look at a few things in those questions that are there. Just to help us understand and few things about the leadership approaches that we may be forced to use. They are numbered from number 1 up to 12, so they are total of 12 slides. Now, looking at those aspects, we are saying that as a leader, there is no standard approach to how you handle things because these subjects or the led, the people you are leading, have their own expectations. So whether you rely on what you wanted to achieve or what they want to be achieved, at the end of the day will assess you on your personal capacity. That's why we started with the research that we saw about the 2,100. Now looking at these aspects here, we are saying that when it comes to what these people you are leading expect, they look at you as a leader and expect you to take 4 approaches to say that one is either democratic, or 2, delegative, or 3, autocratic, and 4, transformational. And we noted those 4 because we want to use those 4 to handle these 12 sequences. So I say delegative, then democratic, then let's see if we can try to fix them. For example, number 1. So everyone is empowered to make decisions if they serve our goals. What kind of approach is that? You are involving everyone in the decision-making process. Yes? Sorry? Democratic, correct. We agree with that? That is democratic. So, but we are not saying that always this is what will happen, that you are supposed to be a democratic leader. There are situations where you may not do that. And it is also part of the answers that we have. Number 2, I make the final decision, but I accept a lot of input from my team. Where do we put that? It's tricky. It's either democratic or delegative or autocratic or transformative. Yes?
Autocratic.
Sorry?
Autocratic.
Democratic?
Autocratic.
Autocratic? You have a different answer. Now let's remember this, maybe just to brief you so that we can move faster. When we talk of democratic kind of leadership, this is where you let members voice their concerns, then even have a vote on that matter before a final decision is taken. So each one's input is incorporated and a decision is made as a group. Democratic. Delegative, here now you let groups work on their own and come up with decision which will only be approved by the top management or by you as a group. Autocratic, simple, give rules, give commandments, and let it be done as it is. No room for what? Discussion. I'm the final guy. You will do what I have said. Transformative, you let people, you elicit people's emotions. You make them have to see that there is need for us to be part of this decision making. You make them see that you inspire their vision. Make them have that issue of, or the aspect of them saying that I am part of the group, I need to be part of the success story of Okame and not just be a student institution. The aspect of then emotional intelligence comes in the transformational leadership. You get to understand these people that I'm leading, what is it that they want? What are they facing? They're supposed to receive help money, they've not received, but I'm forcing them to do this, and that, or maybe contribute for so and so. Emotional intelligence comes in that what? Transformational leadership. So if you go back to what you're saying, that number 1, we've agreed it is democratic. Number 2 is delegative. That's a delegative kind of leadership or approach, where you make the final decision, but there is the output that needs to come out from them, the input from the team. So you get their contribution. They are part of it. Then there is the letting members make their own decisions. That is transformational leadership. You do not have to force your agenda. Fine, you were voted in as a result of the promises you made. But then you discover some of them may not work. So are you able to let decision-making process be shared? Autocratic comes in at number 4, the fourth one. I have the final say over decisions made. So whether there was a good suggestion or not, what have I said? That is what you should do. Remember the other day the president reminded you guys that he has a what? A PhD. You get that? Watu wengine walimu kidogo hapa wananiambia, "Hajui niko na." The higher you go in academics, the more humble you should be. Even you, when you go back, integrity. We all know that time is fit. So why should you keep on reminding people about some of these things? The moment you do that, they start looking at it as a problem that you're trying to cover. It's not just because you are after achieving a certain objective. There's something behind. So we can see now, from that, number 1, it is up to you to decide what kind of approach am I going to use. The people you are leading also have the expectations and looking forward from whatever decision you take. Number 2, do you consider suggestions made by others in the group? Let's assume it is you're seated now as a cabinet of 11. You are the chair, or you are part of that group. Do you consider suggestions made by others in the group? Let's see how you consider. Look at number 1. All the time, I tend to rely on the group to decide our direction. What kind of leader is that, or leadership style is that? I'll help you again. That's a transformative leader. Remember we said that transformative leader, you elicit people's emotions. You make them feel that they are part of the success of the group. You make them see that whatever decisions we are taking are not just because I want to benefit as the top leader of the group. It's because I'm looking at, can I sustain this group together and achieve the targets that we have for the group, for the institution, and for the overall community at large. Number 2, yes, group participation and full commitment is essential. Where do we put that? They are closely related to the third one. So just try to look at them again. I'll let you. One is supposed to be delegative, another is supposed to be democratic. Now look at number 2 and 3 and see where we rank there. Yes, you can try.
Democratic.
Democratic. That's right. So democracy, as someone who is in charge, your subjects, the people you are leading, expect to be part of it. They expect to be decision making. So let them have a contribution. Commitment is essential, so that when you are taking a certain direction, they feel they own that decision, and it's not something that it is you who just woke up one day and decided this is what must be done. Number 3, we said that one will fall under delegation because you retain the final say over major decisions, meaning that major decisions will let them to be the people who are going to make decisions. But assuming that you are the kind of person that I don't have time to worry about other people's ideas, what type of person are you? You are a dictator. Bwana, munajua mimi ndio kusema, I'm the chair, I'm the secretary, I am the president. We know. Why do you remind us? The moment you start reminding us, then it is a sign of weakness that we are not seeing you fit for that position, and therefore you're also scared about our feelings about you being in that position. That's why you have to keep on doing one, reminding us that I am so and so. So that is a critical thing. So try to see, how do you consider other people's suggestions? What is it that these people you are leading expect? They expect you will consult them. So if maybe the college needs to make a certain decision. The management has approached you as a group. You may be forced to ask some of the students. You may not call a whole meeting college, but you may pick a few and ask them, then from that, you can be able to come up with a decision. I'm not saying that the best leadership style is either transformative or democratic or deliberative or no. It depends on the situation. And that's why when you talk of even leadership theories, we have the situational leadership theories. That there is no one way of doing things. Today, it may be acceptable to be a dictator, but tomorrow, it may not be. Because the situation doesn't dictate or doesn't allow that you use the same approach over and over again. Let's move to slide number 3. How do you tend to give orders to others? Number 1, I don't really like to give orders. I just let people do their thing. Where do you feel that? Right. Delegative. Do you have a different answer?
Transformative.
Transformative. Different answer. All answers can end up being right, depending on how you justify the answer. Democratic. Anyone who wishes to support his or her answer? Compare it to number 2. So one is delegative, another is democratic. I've made it easier for you. 1 and 2. One is delegative, the other is democratic. Let's see where democracy is and where delegation is. Any trial, now we make a decision.
The first one is democratic and the second one is delegative.
Because with the delegation, you give somebody the power or the authority to act in that capacity, but under your control, isn't it? That is what makes it as it is. Then number 3, I tell group members what to do, how to do it, and when I want it done. What kind of leader is that? Yes. Autocratic. Mara mimi ndio nimesema. So nimesema kesho asubuhi tukiamka saa 2 kamili tutakuwa hapa, saa 4 tutakuwa hivi, tukimaliza saa 10 ni kupanda basi kurudi college. Madam, si tunaweza tafuta kidogo tumetuliza. What did I say? Saa 10 kupanda basi. So that is how you want it done, when you want it done, and who should do it. With autocratic kind of leadership, you are the kind of person that just gives rules and orders and they have to be strictly followed them. If somebody doesn't follow them, then the aspect of punishment and reward comes in. We're going to have a slide of that after. I give orders but always ensure the team knows the purpose of those orders. That is transformative. So you make people believe that this order has been given because of this. So somebody feels to be part of that process. That even when you are told that, okay, tomorrow our lunch will be delayed because there is maybe a function that will be going on in the college. So you feel, yeah, that function is critical. We need to understand 1, 2, 3 things. So we appreciate the input of the function to the normal running of the college. That is transformative. So you feel you own it. Number 4, what are the ideal next steps when a group member makes a mistake? Depending on what kind of leader you are, you take 4 of those approaches as either autocratic, democratic, delegative, or open-minded, and if possible, if necessary, punished. What kind of approach is that? Yes, that is the simplest. Which one? Autocratic. So, there is no room for being cagey. You are supposed to do it, do it. If you do it well, fine, you will be praised. If you don't, then you will be seriously reprimanded or punished for that. Why? The rules are there. So you are simply supposed to observe them regardless of the situation. Number two, they need supportive feedback and additional guidance. That is a kind of transformational leadership. So you make people see there is need for them to grow. They are part of the system. So these students that are there, don't go and create castles. But now you are in a different cadre. After from today you end up change wardrobe. So that come and go to Zoyan and go planning. Now you start putting on a red tie and you remind them, my red tie means what? I'm not targeting you, my friend. So you tell them, but I don't know. Ile ilikuwa campaign imevaa kinyasa na kanda, hiyo ilikuwa because nilitaka muone I can be, lakini sasa hizo na ofisi, so bwana mambo ni tofauti. That's not what you want. Number two, okay, Kim said they need supportive feedback and additional guidance. That is a transformation type of approach. Then they learn from the mistakes and end up stronger for it. So, yeah. Want to try? Democratic. And the last one? Are we seeing the aspect of delegation there? They can figure out how to resolve it on their own, at that level. Give people authority. So if you have been given a chance, like now you are the president, you have so and so in charge of sports. Alafu wewe tena unampatia that chance to make decision, whatever decision. I mean, so why did you ask him to go and find out what to do? So that is why we are saying, let people try to work at their level. However, if they are not able to, then that's when you can come in. Kind of person that people just say, he cannot listen to anyone. Whatever decision he makes, then it's a problem. Do you go quickly to number 5? How much do you monitor members of your group? Are you the kind of person that always on their nets? Number one, I carefully watch them to make sure they are performing tasks properly. Autocratic. A different answer? That's autocratic. Anasimamia watu bwana, hata mtu hawezi kupumua. I always joke with my boss in guys, but for me, I don't know how to work with too much time. I like working the last minute, and I like working at a minimum supervision. So if you give me a task that you tell me this task is supposed to be completed on Friday, and I look at it, now that this is something I'll sit down and come up with a reporting an hour or two. I mean, sinijipe shughuli kidogo. So at times he calls me, where are you? And I'm just here. Where specifically? And he was just come. And he's so good anyway, he's not a hard guy. So he comes and he finds me playing golf. And he says, I expected you would be through with the task I gave you. And that one. By close of midnight you will have it. If he's come to understand, that is how I work. So are you the kind of person that will give people home? Or you give me a task to perform, I have a duration under which I'm supposed to perform, and then you are on my neck every now see there are some tasks which, like I remember when I was newly employed at the university and I found all the guys there. Guys who have been there for quite some time. You try to introduce a new idea about how things should be done. They'll tell you, well, now we have been here, we know how things are done. So what happens next time you have an idea? You sit on it, isn't it? You can't. So, the mother kwambia, sorry to use here as an example. Bwana unajua hii mwaka yangu ya ngapi nikiwa kwa hii kazi. Wewe ndio umeingia. Nani amekuja mara ya kwanza? Anaambia bwana wewe ndio umekuja, tulia tukupange. What do you do? Next time you have a suggestion, keep quiet. Tunamwambia afanye tu alafu tutamwambia cha kufanya. When it gets to that point, just what is the problem. Number 2, I maintain regular communication to make sure everyone is feeling valued and productive. Yes. Sorry? Transformative. It can be transformative to some extent, but fits more on democratic. There's a thin line between the two. If you look at why we are saying democratic, okay? I maintain regular communication to make sure everyone is feeling valued and productive. So there is a group that is working, that they need to inject their ideas into the task. So how do you handle it? Let them be people who are contributing to the final result. And then when it comes to the third one, where you check in once in a while and let them know I'm available if they need that. That is a transformative thing. It's because you've let these people see the need for them to perform. They are appreciated for the tasks they perform. And people you are reading want. Do you consult them? Do you check on them to ensure that what you want done is what they are doing? And you give them room to perform that? You consult them. You just find out any challenge you are facing, or as long as you have them there, you don't care, or you're just waiting for the final product, and then you start with them for the lack of performance, whatever tasks you want. Then the last one is the delegation. Give them alone, they usually know more about what you've done. Once you delegate a task, let that person perform it. Because why did you delegate? Why do you delegate duties? And if we don't, yes.
We wait for them to gain more experience and skills about us.
And the reason why you delegate also is that you have trust in that person. You can't delegate a task to someone whom you don't trust. So if you have delegated the task to me, then why now do you feel again that I'm not capable of performing? Why in the first case did you delegate? Unless it has reached a point where indeed everyone can see there's failure in it, then that is a different situation. Let's move to number 1. Which best describes your output and motivating team members? People are more motivated when they feel involved and valued. I'm not a life coach. People should be able to motivate themselves. I find ways to inspire my team to keep them fully engaged. People are most motivated by clear rewards and punishments. Pick any and tell us what it is. Any of the 4. Yes.
The first one, people are more motivated when they feel involved and valued, transformative.
Let's have that tentatively. If somebody else has a different opinion, we'll find a consensus. Yes, what you say?
The first one, people are more motivated when they feel involved and valued, democratic.
So somebody has said democratic, transformative. Do you have a different answer? Now, since we are using democratic and transformative, I'll help you there. Let's link it to the one. So, Look at the third one. So one of them is democratic and one is transformative. Yes.
I find my ways to find my team to keep the students being transformative.
Remember we said about transformative kind of approach? Who remembers? There's something we said about it? Yes.
For being involved emotionally, they see that they are most valuable in the group.
Them on board. Ile ni mtu akisema bwana nataka tuconvert ikuwe irrigation ya rice anaambia boss uwanja ni na ni ya mpira na mpira ile inamsaidia ukileta rice hapa hapana wacha. So they feel that the reason why it exists is because of football and not anything else. So the aspect of ownership that they have now developed, that sense, that belonging to it, that this belongs to us and is part of us, and therefore now here they are able to interpret the vision that we achieve. What is it that this person really is out of us? The aspect of emotional intelligence comes in. You're even able to look at their psychology and tell what they really want to achieve. So number one, people are more motivated when they feel involved and valued. That is democratic because we grow them. Then number two, I'm not a life coach. People should be able to motivate themselves. Leave them there. But here, I'm doing this what is expected of you. That is the negative. And then number three, finding ways to inspire my team. That is transformative. And the fourth one is democratic. Do you continue to the last one? Or the remaining can be part of your assignment later on. But you've got the idea of what is expected. Right? Yes. So that is what you are saying. But now, there are different situations where as a leader, these people you are leading will not always want one up. In fact, in leadership we say, there is no one good style of leadership. There isn't. It depends on various factors. And that's why when we talk of leadership styles now, the four main ones that we've mentioned are the ones we consider. But we have others. For example, we have a leadership style that we call situational leadership or contingency approach. With contingency approach, what it simply means is that there is no one way of doing things that is acceptable. What is happening today may be wrong, but tomorrow the same decision taken in the same setup will be right. So we can't continue blaming somebody and saying this is not what should be happening. Now, when we talk of this psychology of the people whom you are going to be with, these are people who are critical in their success. What is it that is going to help you understand best how to deal with these individuals? So, as a leader, we look at the mind. What is in the mind of a great leader? I managed to pick some 5 or about 8 points that is supposed to be part of your mind as a leader. And the people you are leading also expect this to be part of your Bible in the course of you leading them. Number one, self-awareness. Do you know your strength? Do you know your weaknesses? Do you know your values? Are you able to define yourself? Who are you? Very critical. Self-awareness. So, if you do not even know what you stand for, then the people you are leading will also start wondering what type of person. So let us learn to define ourselves. In psychology, when we talk of, say, personality, your personality is not defined by what you think you are. It is defined by the other person. That's it. That wewe ujijui, nani anakujua? The other person. So when this person tells you you are bad, ask yourself, why? Don't say, bwana mimi najua mimi ni mzuri, kanisa sikosi, kama ni sikosi, sadaka natoa, natembelea wajane na mayatima, ninaomba kila kitu. Amekuambia you are bad. Go back and evaluate yourself. Try to look at yourself. What is it that could make this person say that? So, in psychology of leadership, we have said that each individual needs to evaluate himself. And as you evaluate yourself, don't lean on the positives only. Try even to identify your downside. Number 2, emotional intelligence. Commonly referred to as EQ, not I. EQ, emotional intelligence. See, if I've just come home from a funeral, it's an assignment which has been collected. I'm late by a day. You are the student leader. Then, as one of the students have tried taking it to the lecturer, he or she has refused to take it. So what do you do? Nakibarua, sio? Najaribu, ambia mwalimu huyu jamaa ni sawa amechelewa hiyo makosa, lakini amekuwa na matano. Maybe this guy did not even tell the lecturer the opposite. So the lecturer is not wrong, because if the assignment is to be given on a certain date, then you are late. What penalties are there? Either by half. That's what I used to do those days. I am now, such cases are not there. We'll talk about them in a second. But now what you're saying is that you need to look at this individual. What are the circumstances surrounding his not handing in the report? So, if I've just come home, from home because I have been sent away for lack of fees, I've come with half the fee, then the college is not made of madmen that will send you back and tell you, go and bring the other half. I've been away for 2 weeks. Then the principal of the president charge will say, okay, I'll give you time, go and continue your classes, but work with me. That is emotional intelligence. You don't exist, it must be. So, or maybe there's a delay in a certain matter, but you are insisting it has to be in the format that it was. Emotional intelligence depends that each situation is handled depending on what surrounds it and how it affects the well-being of an individual. Here the key word is the well-being of an individual. 3, adaptive leadership. Adaptive, from the word adapt. Adaptive leadership. What is this adaptive leadership? Here, we are saying that as a leader, change with the situation. If a situation dictates that you be a dictator and order that all cows have to be vaccinated, they must be. If the situation dictates that people have to be deducted the housing levy or the sheep and whatever it is, it just has to be done because that is what you want to achieve. But then, the point that you discover, everyone is against it. So you are left with a few individuals, maybe the 90% that were your people have disappeared. Now you are left with the 10 close ones, and those are the ones that are telling you, continue with what you say. So I do that. That's why we say that the mind of a great leader has to use this adaptive leadership, depending on what dictates the situation. Don't be the kind of person that will say, if I want to create a door on this wall, regardless of the situation, a bit and I. That should not be the case. Number 4 is vision and goal setting. Vision and goal setting. But in the mind of a great leader, you need to set a vision is where you expect these people to be in the long run. What is it that you are seeing in 10 years to come in this leadership? At the over the 5 next year, the incoming person, what will be your achievement? When you started, you had a vision, and that's why you promised your electorates some things here and there. So at the end of it, they will measure you by virtue of what you say and what you have achieved. A leader must be visionary. There's a difference between vision and mission. You are doing what you are set up to. What is it that you are doing? Vision is futuristic. What is it that you want to attain at the end of a certain period of time? Number 6 is resilience. Resilience. Are you the person that will reach a point and say, Simimekata and Alfanyeni and then still? So what do the people you are leading now learn? Uli tukisukuma kwa kona, fika mahali ambaye fanyeni ule mnataka msiniwaachie. Then they take advantage. But the moment you are backed with up, you've sworn that you will maintain, you will protect the constitution of the institution. The moment you swore that, and whatever decision you made is right based on what the constitution of the institution says, the rules and regulations are backing you. Why do you back off? Like maybe now the institution says, we are changing the dress code. Now you will not dress in a certain manner. Like this last year, in Kenya universities last year, and most of them brought in the aspect of the dress code. Are you going to reach a point and say, just stick to that, because that is what resilience is critical. Don't reach a point saying the right thing. Then do that. The people learn that that is a weakness you have. And number 6 is influence and persuasion. Now, when you talk of influence and persuasion here, we are looking at situations where you don't even need to talk. Jamaa wakikuona wanajua or the moment you are looking for suggestions from them, they'll be quick at giving those suggestions because they know that they have to make you succeed. But the moment it is the opposite, nobody will want to listen to you. I was giving examples some time back. But the school I went to some funny school here in Goma. It used to be called Goma Town High School. It's no longer there. Why should I be? That's where I went from 1 to 4. So we had some teacher who used to smoke, and this guy, he lights his cigarettes. Yeah, there he holds it. There he smokes. And he used to be very neat. You could just admire. So not that you want to smoke, but the way he's doing it. So you find most of the boys ended up smoking, not because they wanted to smoke, but because they thought, and if they would kimona, it's the same thing that it's likely to happen. So somebody out there will just be so happy to see you in that leadership position. And therefore, anytime you make even a decision that may be unfavorable to him or her, he feels, how do we let down this guy? We wanted to, how do we let him down? So they will find that because of that alone, you influence them and you make them do the right thing, get them down talking. Just by virtue of your presence alone, that is the influence. And when it comes to persuasion, you don't need to beg. Persuasion is not the same as begging. When you are persuading, it means that you are letting these people know the benefits or the negatives related to a certain decision. Then you let them follow what you think is right based on that situation. The next one is empowerment and delegation. People expect to be empowered. People expect that there will be delegation of duties. Not that you are the kind of person that we want to do everything all the time. So next time you approach us, you want some feedback, we'll tell you, wewe fanya vile unafikiria, sisi tuko tu. Just do it as you feel you want to do it. But when there is the aspect of you as a leader understanding that the people you are leading also expect to see that you are taking them as people who are meaningful to the situation or meaningful to you, then it becomes easy to find a way to solve the situation. And lastly is continuous learning and adaptation. Continuous adaptation. Situations where you as a leader, you need to continue learning. You are not born leading. So it reaches a point where you have to learn even from the subordinates. So don't be the kind of person that will say, it is my time to lead, therefore take what I'm saying. It could be something that is maybe not right, or may not be right at that time, but later on may be useful. The same thing that used to face here at most. You'd meet these old professors, and now they wrote a book, say, in 1970, 1980s. So you try telling this, just a research that was published 2 years ago, and it says this, it is contrary to what you say. Tells you, but I've been teaching for 50 years. So here in Imekuja 2 years ago, this is just someone that is being trial and error. Take what I said 50 years ago. Then you start wondering, 50 years ago, well, those were two different worlds compared to now. So accept that changes do occur, that even the people whom you are going to lead, some of them are smarter than you. Is it true? Even as we are seated here, it's a fact that there could be 1 or 2 people who have got a higher IQ than mine. So I not insist and say, whatever I say is what it is. Take it as it is. No. You were brought up in different environments. You have undergone different kind of training. So I cannot insist that whatever I know in a certain area is what should be the gospel truth. You could be right by virtue of the training that you had in that different area. So you cannot always insist and say that because I'm the one in charge of this situation, then it must be. Different situations will dictate how you handle matters, and therefore understand that as a leader, there is also the aspect of continuous learning throughout your leadership position. Any question on today? I was told that when you find that there is no question, say that you did it so well, so bad. It is already 1, and as I wanted to stop there if I'm allowed to. Because it's 1, then we are mixed again. For the next session, we can handle any other issue. Is there any burning question or a contribution? Not necessarily a question, but a contribution to what I've said, or maybe something you feel would be slightly different from what I said based on what you have. Mr. President. I am the one in charge of the people. So you are what? Write this quotation by Ronald Reagan. And as you go for lunch, you can pick it. There is a former president of America called Ronald Reagan who said, the greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. Is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. So each one of us at our level have to remember that. We'll pick it up next session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can someone give him a better appreciation than the one that he done? You can do that?
Utasugua na chapa ile ya nayo style nayo sio mara tatu kwa mwisho tunampea let's round and then it gets hot and water. Okay, ready 1 nayo asante.
Thank you so much. That has been the session. I'm not going to add anything. If you have a class and you know what you're learning, kila mtu huwa anaanza kulingana na kiwango yake, si ndio? Kuna mwingine anaweza kuwa ameketi tu hadithi chochote hafanyi nini na kumamisha, si ndio? Kuna mwingine lazima andike. Kuna mwingine atatoka hapa sana aende akae aanze kuwaza so that he or she can internalize now. That is how it is. But I know after this session, all of us will be somewhere, not they will came. When I was out a little bit, our deputy principal, so may I call the presence of our deputy principal, Mr. Sigula, and I invite him to say jambo to us, and asking us that the welfare should be confirming to us if land. And once she brings the report, the person who opened the prayer for us, and I know you didn't give for us the spiritual leader. Akishakwambia lunch is ready, she will like us for lunch, then we get a prayer from the person who opened. Now, the day is yours. Sasawa, waka jioni tuwezi prayer. Then tomorrow we meet on another person. Sasawa, kindly, our able deputy principal, karibu.
Thank you. Good afternoon all. Those of you who came to
afternoon. My name is Mr. Emmanuel Stella, Deputy Principal. First of all, I just want to say congratulations to those who made it to this very powerful and wonderful council. So it's not very easy for, especially now the chairman for to be re-elected. Means people are and also love the team means again people have been still to lead them. We just want to pray that we continue with the same leading people the right way and God will bless you. Otherwise, school being with the former team is now the deputy principal for the good leadership she has shown in terms of molding the council to become a better council in this case. I've worked in various institutions, but what I want to say is that Okano is one of the institutions with a highly disciplined student council. Very highly disciplined. So I just want to encourage you to continue in that spirit. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, our principal. I know we shall be having a word with you all. You will be with us the first session. So we shall keep time so that immediately after